Tonight, while a taxi driver is fearing for their safety after being targeted by rock throwers, and COVID restrictions further eased in New South Wales.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. A while a taxi service is calling for more action after being the recent targets of rock throwers. The local community also fed up with the behaviour, saying it's making people feel unsafe in their own neighbourhood.
Enough is enough. That's the message from Whyala's Des's cab service.
There's concern. We need to keep our drivers safe, and that's been the main focus.
Over the past 2 years, Miss Osborne says the cab service has faced multiple rock throwing and vandalism attacks, some so bad it's left drivers fearful.
We will not go to certain addresses that we have identified as being the problem addresses, so that has been put in place.
The company's car park also a recent target, with multiple car windows smashed and vehicles damaged. An all too familiar scenario, with the damage bill now in the thousands.
12 months ago we had 8 buses that were heavily vandalised.
The company's drivers taking a stand over the weekend, saying they will refuse to get behind the wheel if something isn't done soon.
It's escalated to the point where they no longer feel safe on the road.
People have had enough of the level of antisocial behaviour. In particular, the rock throwing is clearly putting the taxi drivers at risk.
The member for Giles City Council and local police will meet tomorrow to discuss the situation.
Council has initiated this meeting between the relevant parties so that we can address the concerns that we're hearing about, which was brought to our attention early this week.
The immediate actions that we would like to see is have the rocks removed from around the areas that it's happening, better CCTV and lighting in the area.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Broken Hill pubs and clubs have been given a St Pat's Day bonus, with standing and drinking now allowed indoors for the first time in almost a year. Venues welcoming this significant announcement and hope dancing will return next.
Something extra to celebrate on St Pat's Day.
This is huge. This is the big announcement that pretty well the hospitality industry has been waiting for.
Standing and drinking allowed indoors across New South Wales from 12:01 this morning, almost a year to the date since licensed venues were forced to close at the start of the pandemic.
Broken Hill's a social town, so everyone wants to mingle, and it'll make life a bit more normal for everyone.
The change not just for customers, hospitality staff no longer needing to confront those not following the rules.
Is going to allow us to just take the pressure off of a lot of the staff, that we're not going to be chasing the people around like they are all the time saying you've got to sit down, you've got to sit down, you've got to sit down.
And while a return to the bar is welcome, it's still not a free-for-all.
If we have large groups that are congregating inside, still standing and consuming, we've still got to monitor that a little bit and social distance still.
Density limits still remain, and the next big question, when will dance floors reopen?
It's always difficult when you've got a band on. Everyone behaves themselves for 3/4 of the time and then just gets to that end and they just can't help themselves. They've been chair dancing long enough.
The state government saying it's on the agenda but wouldn't commit to a date.
It doesn't make much sense that you can dance at a wedding but you can't dance on St Paddy's Day in a pub. So that's next.
Another sign life is slowly returning to normal. Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
The third round of South Australia's Great State Vouchers is about to be rolled out, this time focusing on tourism operators. Some regional businesses are welcoming the move, but say more support is still desperately needed.
From swimming with sea lions to facing the predators of the deep, visitors are spoilt for choice, and now it's being made even easier to experience the Eyre Peninsula.
This is what our tour operators have been asking for months.
Round 3 of the Great State Vouchers being launched, but unlike previous rounds, this will only be available for hosted tours and experiences.
Anything that gets people out and about travelling and brings them to regional areas is going to be a good thing for sure.
The state vouchers ranging from $50 to $200, helping keep tourism operators afloat.
Things are certainly still down. I mean, traditionally, 35% of our market is international trade.
While the vouchers are set to benefit operators, hotels are also set to reap the rewards.
People, if they're coming here to do a shark cage dive or a swim with the sea lions or a land-based trip, they need somewhere to stay, so the hotels are, by default, definitely going to benefit.
While some tourism operators have welcomed the voucher, they say more support is desperately needed to get more flights in the air.
Flights would be a welcome step.
While we definitely do need more flights, we still are benefiting from the drive market as well.
The vouchers will become available after the Easter holidays. Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
400 general practitioners will be trained to work in regional areas as part of a federal government initiative. $49.7 million has been put towards the program in a bid to stop doctor shortages. Regional Health Minister Mark Coulton says it will improve the lives of those residing in outback Australia. The first round of employees are set to start mid this year, with 100 doctors per year to be trained. A prescribed burn-off in Lincoln National Park has gone ahead today, burning just short of 30 hectares of land. It aims to reduce fuel loads in the area and attempt to reduce the likelihood of future bushfires spreading. It's expected to be wrapped up by 10 tonight. Crews will remain in the area over the coming days to monitor for any hotspots. A prescribed burn is also planned for the entrance of Coffin Bay National Park this Friday. Still to come tonight, South Australia's fishing laws set for a revamp on Friday, and a local community group raising funds for the Port Pirie Hospital. Welcome back. Rogue fishers who are caught doing the wrong thing can expect a bigger hit to the hip pocket in South Australia, with fines increasing from Friday. But local anglers say there's more that needs to be done to sustain the state's fishing stocks.
Tightening the line with rogue fishers on the hook. For the first time in 30 years, fines for anglers will increase beginning Friday. The Primary Industries Minister says while the majority do the right thing, the penalties were no longer a strong enough deterrent.
The penalties are out there to deter you from doing the wrong thing, but that shouldn't be the reason. The fishery needs to be protected going forward, and everyone needs to do the right thing so it's there for our children and grandchildren.
But local fishermen say it's not enough to stop rogue fishers in the act. They say more resources are needed out on the water.
But it's not so much the deterrent of a fine, it's actually get the chance of getting caught. The lack of resources on the fisheries front to prosecute and catch these people is probably going to be more of a deterrent going forward than any increase in fines.
Those who see someone breaking the rules are being encouraged to report the activity to Fishwatch or go through the SA Fishing app.
Usually all the legal people will take notice of it as normal, but the illegals will just keep on doing what they want to do unless there's a greater chance of getting caught and prosecuted.
And the message to those ignoring the laws.
To those rogue fishers, you're actually risking that fishery. You need to stop doing the wrong thing.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Golf News.
School drop-off should be smoother in Broken Hill, with roadworks on Iodide Street now complete. New curbs, gutters and refuge islands have been installed, and the intersection with Morgan Street has also been reconstructed. The works began in mid-January and were completed in 9 weeks, a week ahead of schedule. Council thanking the community for its patience, with parts of the road closed during construction. Broken Hill locals are invited to have their say on the city's future, with consultation for the cultural plan opening to the public. A pop-up store has been created in the town square as the 20-year plan nears completion.
An empty shop turned into a drawing board. Across these walls, locals' vision for a culturally vibrant future.
We wanted to, I suppose, have an open invitation for anyone in Broken Hill to come in and have a chat.
Consultants returning to the city, gathering feedback for the cultural plan, laying out the future for arts and entertainment in the city until 2041.
We're asking people to add to a cultural timeline we've built to actually get a good feel for what people want from 2021 onwards.
The pair has visited Broken Hill in the past, but this is the first time the broader community has had its say.
Connection is a really big one. People are sort of saying that they want to find out what's happening. They want to be connected to other people and they don't feel that there's that connection that's happening.
These sessions held just weeks after Council sought feedback on its CBD revamp. The cultural plan will overlap in some areas, but has a broader focus.
We're looking at the whole of the local government area, but certainly I think the timing works.
And it won't be long until these ideas could become reality.
We'll take the feedback on board and formulate up some strategies and actions.
The report will be presented to Council by the end of May. Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Port Perry's Heartbeat Group continues to raise money for the local hospital, 40 years since it was first established. Following a tough year in which many fundraising events were cancelled, members are calling for more volunteers.
A dedicated group of volunteers raising money for a cause close to home. The group works to purchase vital cardiac heart equipment for Port Pirie Hospital.
People with heart problems that come before they go down to Adelaide or when they come back. Well, we think that it helps the people in Port Pirie that don't really have to go to Adelaide for everything.
Pat Gooley has been a part of the group for 32 years and chairperson for 19 years. They've raised more than $400,000 since their foundation started, but she says last year was a tough one for the group.
And last year we couldn't do anything because of the virus, but now we've got back into it, and our next thing will be our meeting in July, where we have every branch that comes for the luncheon and we raise a little bit of money with raffles.
Volunteers say the work is rewarding to give back to the community and help the hospital.
I like to do any volunteer work, because if we can get a lot of volunteer people, that helps the community.
They're calling for more helping hands, with many of these passionate volunteers now in their 80s.
We'd ask for any help we can get, it's only, like I said, a meeting every 2 months. Badge days.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us while as City Plaza businesses prepare to take to the streets and Port Pirie residents urged to dig deep for this year's Relay for Life event. Surf Life Saving SA will be hitting the water in Port Lincoln this weekend, hosting a Come and Try Nippers event. Families are being encouraged to head down and meet the team at the free event on the city's foreshore. The sessions are designed to boost surf awareness within children and help them learn about beach safety. The event will kick off this Saturday for children aged 5 to 12. Boolaroo Centre High School's class of 1961 have celebrated their 60th anniversary. Old scholar Rob Williams says while only 8 people attended, it was still a night to remember.
Camaraderie between the group and to show the photographs and to talk about old times, and it was a really lively and very heartwarming discussion there.
The group are already looking forward to their next reunion, which will be held in 2026. While as Main Street businesses are rallying together, putting on a weekend street affair for locals and tourists to enjoy. The event a chance for stores to bring in much needed shoppers and boost activity down the City Plaza.
Snapping to the opportunity of more customers. This Whyalla gym joining other local stores along Patterson Street, trying to get business booming once again.
The street, or the City Plaza Traders Association, the business association, is actually getting involved and putting together what we're calling a street affair.
Set to be transformed into a market-style event, the activity will take place on March 27.
Stalls in the street, as well as obviously the businesses, will be open. There'll be a jumping castle. We've got music supplied by Stormfront.
Snap Fitness also offering a free boot camp on the day with large board games set for outside.
Also, the BDS Dance Studio will be doing their rehearsals on the day, and so people are welcome to come in and see what it's all about.
We've got some guys called the Bait Fridge who are from Adelaide who do strange and crazy performance art, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them.
Jessup White Park will also see some action, with food vans, crafts and a variety of performances on offer.
Lucky Sam's family fringe favourite. So Sam's been our MC in past years with Ali Green, who he's also bringing along, and he's programming a whole 2 days of family-friendly activities.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Port Pirie's Relay for Life is only 10 days away, and organisers are working around the clock on final preparations. The biannual event raising funds for cancer research, which they say is a cause close to the community's heart.
Memorial Oval is set to be transformed on March the 27th. Despite COVID-19 restrictions making it harder for organisers, the 10th edition will be going ahead with flying colours.
So we're still having all the most important things like survivor and carers walk, an afternoon tea, candlelight, closing.
Raising funds for cancer research, participants say this is an important event. The cause extremely close to home for so many taking part.
You know, had cancer or survived from cancer. My father died 33 years ago from lung cancer, so I'm very passionate about Relay for Life.
Quite a few survivors in our team, and we just want to do it for them.
Some teams holding special themes to add a splash of colour and fun to the relay.
The Pink Ladies from Greece, that's what we kind of call ourselves.
The day will begin at 3 p.m. and residents are being encouraged to come to the Oval and help raise funds.
Just hope Port Pirie people come and see the beautiful day that we do in memory of our loved ones that we've lost and for our beautiful survivors.
So everybody's welcome to come along and just listen to the music and the activities.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. We'll check the latest fuel prices across the region. And we'll have the weather details with Alex Sykes. Hello again. If you need to fill up the car, you may want to get in quick, with fuel prices rising across the region. Here's Lachlan Etta with this week's Fuel Watch.
While unleaded is cheaper in the regions than Adelaide this week, it's still the same story when it comes to prices. Expect to pay more than this time last week. If you're filling up with unleaded in Kadina, you'll pay $1.34 a litre. At the other end of the spectrum, Broken Hill is nudging $1.42 a litre. Port Pirie's seen the biggest increase on last week, up to $1.34 as well. Whyalla and Port Augusta a few cents more at $1.37 and $1.35 respectively, while Port Lincoln is getting ever closer to the $1.40 mark, currently $1.38 there. A jump of 30 cents a litre in Adelaide, where you'll pay $1.54, so wait and fill up at home if you can. Over to diesel, where Broken Hill is the only town where prices are unchanged at $1.42 a litre, although it's still the most expensive town in our region. $1.35 in Whyalla and $1.32 in Port Augusta, both up on last week. Kadina's middle of the road at $1.33 a litre, Port Pirie $1.32 and Port Lincoln comes off best, $1.31 there. City prices are up a few cents, but still worth topping up the tank if you are heading to Adelaide. Finally, to Autogas, where we actually have some good news. There's been a slight drop in Port Lincoln, down to 99 cents a litre. Drivers in Whyalla, they're the big winners, dropping almost 7 cents. Port Augusta also going down to 96 cents. Port Pirie's jumped up to 97 cents, 93 cents in Kadina and 92 in Broken Hill. Remember, as always, that these prices are the regional averages and do not reflect any one particular outlet. But if you do spot unleaded, diesel or Autogas cheaper, be sure to let us know on our Facebook page.
Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather across the Spencer Gulf and Broken Hill. With all the details, here's Alex Sykes.
Thanks, John, and good evening, everyone. A mainly fine day across our region with winds recorded in the east from 3 p.m. today. Port Augusta was a sunny top of 31 degrees, Woodner partly cloudy and 29, and Cleve got to a high of 26 degrees. Looking further out now, Broken Hill and Clare both 27, Port Pirie got to a high of 31, Whyalla sunny and 28, Port Lincoln 22, Kadina sunny and 26 degrees. Similar conditions in Cooper Pedy, a top of 30 there, and Adelaide Adelaide got to a high of 24 degrees. Taking a look at the satellite image now, patchy cloud about far southeastern SA. In a weak trough is not rain-bearing. Bright high cloud over far western, far northern and eastern SA near troughs is also not producing any rain. Clear skies elsewhere under a dominant ridge of high pressure. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Southeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 1 to 1.5 metres, and south to southwesterly swell 1 to 2 metres. Sunny conditions again across most parts. Port Lincoln will reach a high of 26, sunny and Cleve a top of 28 degrees there. Woodna mostly sunny 32, Whyalla 28, partly cloudy, and Port Augusta is set to reach a high of 30 degrees. Kadina a max of 29. Port Pirie partly cloudy, 30 degrees, Clare 26 and cloudy in Broken Hill 25. Taking a look further through the week now, partly cloudy across the Gulf except for in Port Lincoln where it will be a sunny 27 degrees. Cooper Pedy, Kadina and Adelaide will reach 30. Port Augusta, Woodna and Port Pirie all forecast to reach 31. Cooling down slightly on Saturday, mainly fine conditions, 31 in both Port Augusta and Port Pirie and 30 across Kadina, Adelaide and Woodna. Showers for Cooper Pedy on Sunday, cloudy in Broken Hill and Port Augusta and a max of 29 in Adelaide. And that's all the weather from me for tonight. It's back to you, John.
Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Wednesday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later, and we will be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.